Alrighty, so welcome to class with me today. Welcome for ready for the week. This won't be a long one today. I just have a lesson to share with you. We're continuing the preparing for success lesson. And today we're going to focus on sequencing success. And I'll go over what that actually means. But yeah, I did want to let you know we are doing one-on-one signups for the fall. I usually try not to book too many of these clients at a time, so I'm not jam-packed. So I usually kind of cut it off after like 5 to 10 students that I'm working with. But I kind of finished up with a few of the students. You might still see them in the class because a lot of my students who join my program, they do the one-on-ones with me, but then they still keep access to the classes. So you may see a few of the students in here if you ever want to ask questions or ask feedback and all that stuff. So yeah, today we're gonna just go ahead and go over our lesson, and we can look at the charts if you didn't want to really do too much chart work today. It is a bank holiday. We do have a full moon, I think, tomorrow. So we do want to note that because we know how the moon affects the market, and let's see, we also have NFP on Friday. So, we want to be aware of what's coming up. We got high impact news. We got a big moon shift. So we might notice some big moves in the market. But my bias is still the same. I'll be real with you. I'm still short on the dollar. Still looking to buy against it at this time. And we'll see if we see any setups. My boy was asking me to look at gold, and I don't even trade gold, but I just looked at it. I said, bro, this pair has been bullish for years. Looks bullish. I was speculated at least, maybe you got to stop hunt down here. I'm not sure, right? I want to wait for trap liquidity, but I speculated at least going to come back up here. So I'm bullish on this one. But so yeah, last 4 weeks before this, we were doing healthy trading habits, and we're just going over ways that you can basically get rid of bad habits in your trading, pick up healthy ones, embrace them, and basically just become a better trader that is consistent, because that consistency is something that most traders lack. Because a lot of people will have a good week, a good month, a good day, like, oh, I finally got this Forex stuff figured out. And then it's like, oh, I just got to work at consistency. But obviously you're going to have to work at consistency because, by sheer definition, consistency will take time, right? You can't show you're consistent unless you have a large enough sample size. And that's a big reason I'll tell traders to have a plan, stick to your plan, journal your trades so you can have that data to see, where you're being consistent, where you're being inconsistent. So for those who's not even journaling and, keeping track of their trades, you're really going to have a tough time being consistent because you're not, tracking your performance. And that's huge. All right. So as far as how we're going to sequence our success, what does that mean? It means that when you're thinking of success, where you want to be, your goals, you realize, like Meek says, there's levels to this, there's steps to this. You're not just gonna be a superstar trader overnight, no matter how many scammers try to pump your head up with that, right? You might start to grasp it, you might have a knack for this, you might be, overnight sensation, but even LeBron James, overnight sensation, came out of high school. Kobe, right? They still had to get their ass kicked. They still had to face their adversity, lose their games, lose their finals, all of that stuff they still had to go through. So, your abilities may get you in the game, but it's going to take that real fortitude, that real drive, that ability to face adversity, to essentially fail and overcome, to truly get where you want. So I feel a big part of this is how you sequence your success, how you look at each phase of your life, how you look at each area of your life that you're building at, and how that actually goes into where you're going, right? So, you can think of like the saying, crawl before you walk, baby steps, all that good stuff. Morning, morning, morning. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yep, all that good stuff. But it's essentially what we've talked about, where we say macro patience, right? Macro patience, having vision, having an idea of what your overall long-term goal is, but not only having that macro patience. And what brings the macro patience? It's knowing that whatever you're going through in the micro is gonna feed into feed into the macro, right? So let me just kind of think about it. Like, let's just give an example. Say you, right now, a lot of you may have a 9 to 5 job that you dislike, that you despise, or that's just holding your trading back, quote unquote, that's interfering with you. How many people still work a day job in here? And it's fine if you do. It's nothing to be, looked down upon. It's just part of the hustle, guys. How many people still working day jobs? We'll be over soon. Yes, brother. Only 4 of us? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And okay, thank you for all the honesty. It's Johan, bro. I'm not saying that. What do you think this is? And yes, it is, bro. That is. If you're doing that, you're putting it on the line, yo. You're risking it for a biscuit. No day job but college. I know, I'm playing with you, bro. And if you ain't playing, holla at me. I need a plug. I'm just so alrighty. So how many of you who said that you still have a job want to quit that job and aspire to want to quit and want to be a full-time trader? How many? Okay, so if you're not here live and you're not seeing the chat, basically everybody and their mama want to be a full-time trader and don't want to work anymore. And maybe not everyone in the world want to be that, but everyone in this damn class this morning, everyone who got up at 4 a.m., I'm sorry, on Monday during New York to hear me rant just for the small chance of improving their trading, that means you want this. Shout out to people like Jonah. I don't know if he's here today, but this man be on his lunch break. He takes his break when class time is, and then he'll be in the call in his work truck, So that's the dedication I really like to see. And those are the people that you will see start to shape, and shape into what they see themselves as, right? Step into the image that they see for themselves. But what back to the point of having to work, right? What you just need to realize is that job, though it may be dead end, though you may not be going anywhere, you need to remember why you're doing that job. What's the macro reason, right? You got bills, you got a kid, you have to put money in your trading account to even learn. Where's that initial money gonna come from? You need to pay uh, you know, Forexia or a mentor to learn. You need to anything, guys. Like, you need money in this world. So when you're becoming a trader, that learn to earn shit, that get take signals until I figure it out shit, it doesn't fucking work. Okay? And I had a curse to get the point across. Learn, earn, don't work. Take signals to unprofitable. Doesn't work. It's just we might try to help you with analysis, or we might share these trades with you, but it's your discernment and how you interpret that information is how you're actually going to be a good trader. Following signals blindly won't do it. So I'm not going to make this into a rant why you don't take signals, but I'm going to let you know that you need to be getting money in the meantime before you put it all on Forex. You don't want to take out a loan on your house, have your family waiting around for you, have your, wifey mad at you and sacrificing and resenting you, which it may happen. I know plenty of stories where this has happened. And when the wifey sticks with you and you make it through, you reward her, or vice versa, your husband or your partner, whatever, right? Right? We're all accepting here. But the point is, You want to learn from the mistakes of others. Just because you have to go through a struggle, it doesn't mean that, just because you can go through a struggle doesn't mean that you have to. So what I'm trying to do is prepare you to not hit these roadblocks, to not over leverage your life, let alone your account on Forex. So understand the steps. Over leverage your time. Oh, yes, right? Time, money, effort, these are our resources. But do not put all your money into it, because it will mess with your head, for one, and it will put so much pressure on your trading that you can't respect the craft, that you can't have what? Macro patience. Because this is how you actually goal build. This is how you dream build, guys. So everything we talk about on Mondays is to help you build your dreams, build your intentions into actual, tangible, manifested things in this reality. It's not just about trading. Trading is just super dope because, like my man Mark told me, it's a direct feedback loop to our thoughts, right? And to our brain. So we can see the results quicker. We can see them manifest quicker, right? In this trading vortex or matrix, sorry, this trading matrix that we're all in the market. But these same concepts will apply to anything. If you want to start a business, if you want to start a family, you have to think long term, and you have to do things in today, plan it for your future. It's as obvious as that. I won't beat a dead horse, but just guys, just see your work, see it as a means to an end, okay? And the end is your goal. So get that bread. Don't let the bread get you, okay? Just stay focused on your goal. And just start to see yourself as the person you want to become as you shift into your reality. I definitely did the same when I moved to California. I I basically just visualized California so hard. I even just like listen to Kendrick, just look online for I was really big into shows back then. So I was like booking gigs, and I was still living in the Midwest when I was doing all this. And I just felt as if it's this it's this state of being. We talk about feeling it and all of that, but there's this state of being that I can kind of commentate on because I felt it a few times. It's where you literally are just, you're present, but you're not here. So you might be, I might be in the Midwest physically, but my mind, body, and soul, I'm in women, weed, and weather in California. So right now you might be on $100 account, and you might, be trading point oh ones and, teetering at break even, maybe a little negative. But just see that other side, especially if it's starting to click for you, to where like you're starting to see stuff in the market. You're starting to say, man, I saw that. How do I trade that? Or I messed up with my entry or my timing, little things like that. Once you start to be able to see the market, have faith, you're almost there. Start to see yourself taking those trades, being successful, and just do all the little things that we discuss week in and week out to get there. So it's a superpower when you can start to really see the market, to start to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys who start to really be able to predict the moves, and you get to that point where you can predict it, but you can't necessarily make pips all the time. I know who can relate to that. Super frustrating. No one can relate. Like, where you get to that stage where you can see everything in the market, but you're still maybe struggling to trade it or stay consistent. I know. Yes, I'm on. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Man, it's clicking though. Yeah. So when you're starting to get there, just stay diligent, and you know, don't get so down on yourself. Just know that you're super close, but realize you're gonna really have to work through to get where you want. It's not just gonna be like, oh, I can see it, I'm gonna magically take the trades. You're gonna have to really get your hands dirty and sit in the mirror and look at your trade demons. Look what's messing you up. And that's why I tell you, journal, right? Because that's the quickest way to make these adjustments. That's the quickest way to see what's going on in your trading. Okay. So just just start to notice that state. um I didn't read none of today's lesson I read in a book or got online. A lot of times I'll get other tips when I gotta do Google searches to help me put a lesson together. But this lesson, it literally, I couldn't find anything. It was like some political stuff. I don't know. So I really just had to dig deep and speak from my own experience. So I can't really look to others to confirm this. I can just look within. And what I'm speaking on now is just that state where you start to feel your reality shift, but you ain't quite there yet, but you're not where you physically are right now. You need to identify that state, and you need to hold on to it, and you need to just keep working, because what that state means is you're close, baby. Real close. All right. So just want you guys to kind of just look at take everything in steps of success and as a sequence of success. Look at everything that you go through in life like a training, like training. What are some of the jobs that people have? Where do y'all work? I'm waiting. Forklift driver, bartender, accountant. All right, I got enough. All right, so accountant, obviously, look, you're going to deal with money management. You're going to deal with clients. You're going to deal with markets in general, finances. So, Desi, your sorry, I won't say all by name, but your job is is helping you, right? It's going to help you learn finances, books. So that's a brilliant job to have. Just think of how it will help your trading. Maybe you want to have your own firm in the future, or maybe you just want to manage your own money. That's great. Bartender, look at it how you're learning people skills. You're learning to deal with people. You're learning human emotions. I'm sure people want to talk to you about their emotions, all of that stuff. Um, and what do we say the market is? Human emotions, human behavior. So I'm sure you can start to predict what people will do at the bar. You see them at vulnerable states, things like that. Use it as a case study. Start to observe, right? Any job we have, we can use it. Forklift driver, you're working with equipment, you're working with others, you're dealing with maybe like you have a whole I don't know much about that, but like a whole set or area you're working on, and you have to a big project, and you have to strategically do it and collaborate with others. I'll just keep going. Post office, I mean, come on now, you have to deal with people all day. You have to see what the masses are doing. You can see things from a I know post office is still part of the government, from a government viewpoint, from a world view, from a macro view. Work at a bank in South Africa. Man, you work at a bank, you work with the market maker. So beautiful. And tell you, half server, half designer. So you're constantly catering to people, right? You're knowing what people want. Customer service, yes. So, um, Johan, bro, I'm not saying it out loud, bro. All right. So just know the reason I had y'all do that is, but actually, Johan, your job, man, like, you're gonna have to know what people want too. So the whole point of this is just to show that what you're doing right now, not only is it giving you money to feed yourself, what you need in this capitalist society, which is the reason we're becoming traders, right? But there's other skills and things you can pick up along the way to improve yourself, just to become a better person. And how does that actually affect your trading? It does in every way, because all of your faults will be faced in trading. So examine them in your everyday life. Right. Um, so just anything, guys, not just your job. It can be like all right, I'll give you two more examples and I'll be done. So like me, I play Madden football competitively. Y'all already know. But in Madden, it's just like when you're playing these top guys, you really have to be precise. You have to know your playbook. You have to know like your progression. It's like you're playing real football. You got to like watch everything, break down schemes, and that's why I really like it. And just like sometimes in my games, if I'm not patient, if I'm just trying to throw and rush through it, I like basically always lose. But when you're patient, when you're calm, you run the ball, you take time between your plays, you start to just play better. And of course you can control the tempo, speed things up to mess with your opponent. And I've noticed that a lot of times it's just that my opponent is so impatient, I can patience, if that's a term, patience my opponent. So something like playing Madden, it helps me deal with a lot of variables, kind of track where my patience is at, and just kind of just remind me to be patient and execute at a high level. And these are things I apply to trading. I can actually see where my mindset is by playing a game of Madden on Xbox. And, I can tell myself if I need to trade or not. I know it sounds weird, but I played Madden for so many years that it kind of and Madden is a football game. I get paid for that, bro. No, I don't get paid for Madden. I could play it for money, but I keep it just for fun. I used to do that in college, gamble on sport games, and I did good, and I gambled on sports, period. But I don't like gambling anymore, guys. Like once I learned how to trade, I just like taking higher calculated risks. So, and yeah, I would bet on myself on a video game, but I'd rather bet on myself against the market for sure. But I still play poker, right? I like poker, tournament poker. And, actually that was my example, like tournament poker. I've been playing like that since for over 15 years before I was trading, but it actually taught me about bankroll management. And that's one of the reasons I have to give shout outs to poker for making me one of the probably the best risk manager, one of them, maybe Brandon is, but one of the best risk managers in Forex. Like, the risk to rewards I get, the entries I get, the how I manage my account with the percent I trade, not over leveraging, that is just some real risk reward ratio stuff. And I learned a lot from managing my poker bankroll over the years, right? You have in poker, let's say you have, $1,000 account, you want to be risking like 1 to 5% per game. So I could maybe play a five, I have $1,000 account, I could play a $50 tournament, right? Because I still have bankroll if I lose, because I don't want to put it all on one game. And I know that anything can happen, right? So yeah, those are my examples, guys. Yeah, man, the hybrid archetype is awesome. Yeah. Hybrid trader. Yeah, that's what I call myself, hybrid trader, because I'll do scalp swings. I'll enter and I could potentially just take 15, 20 pips on my first position, leave the second position and potentially get hundreds of pips, right? So I would agree. All right, guys, I think this is going to actually be the lesson. We're going to keep it pretty short today. I know we usually go for an hour, but I wanted to try not going all day. But we will be back together tomorrow for WinGPG. We'll have a new lesson for you. Do we have any questions, any comments? Anybody want to chime in before we get out of here today? Anybody got anything to say? Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, brother. Think you're good. I'm glad we didn't actually get into charts today. Be careful because today is a bank holiday, I believe. How long can be the training learning curve? It's really up to you. I like to say like usually take a couple years to really get it down. Like maybe about 2 years is a good curve, but it can take 5 to 10, or it could take 5 to 10 months. But I would say if you're learning with Forexia and you're doing it every day, it should take you, maybe a year and a half, 2.5 years, 3 years. But if it's really like everyone has their own pace. And if you have more questions, hit me up. If you're having trouble working through something, hit me up. Alrighty, guys. Peace out.